China is not merely a country. It is an ancient universe breathing to its own rhythm, drifting between a profound past and a future that is arriving at breakneck speed. Imagine a land where dynasties have left their scars, visible in every stone, on every curved temple roof, in every character carved by a bamboo brush, where a single cup of tea holds over 5,000 years of history, and where a simple street can transport you from the 21st century back to the 13th in a matter of steps. This is China. Gigantic, complex, astonishing. From the snow-capped peaks of the Himalayas to the terraced rice fields of the south, from futuristic cities shimmering like artificial constellations to hidden villages that seem frozen in time. This land is home to over 1.4 billion souls, living in a symphony of dialects, customs, and traditions. Every region, every province, is essentially a country unto itself, with its own identity, cuisine, architecture, and worldview. Life here is a choreography of contrasts. You can watch elders practicing Tai Chi in the morning mist, while young coders rush toward glass skyscrapers. You can hear the murmur of traditional markets, while drones buzz overhead. You can smell the incense of ancient temples and, at the same moment, feel the hum of artificial intelligence. China is a land of extremes, of silent deserts and vibrant jungles, of millennial temples and bullet trains, of rural communes and endless megalopolises. And yet, beyond the overwhelming statistics, the colossal geography, or the economic power, what truly defines China are the small details. The warmth of a smile in a country home, the sound of ink flowing onto rice paper, the patience required to steam a perfect baozi. On this journey, we won't just explore landscapes and skylines, but the very essence of its people, their beliefs, their way of life. Stay with us until the end, because one discovery we'll share might forever change how you see this country. Welcome to Incredible Planet. And this is China. Beijing, the political and cultural heart of the nation. Beijing is not just the capital of China. It is the epicenter where centuries of history collide with the vertigo of the present. Founded over 3,000 years ago, this city has witnessed the rise and fall of dynasties, the birth of empires, and the resurgence of a nation that today sets the global tempo. Walking its streets is to immerse yourself in a world of duality. On one side, the hutongs, traditional alleyways, where life still unfolds slowly, to the rhythm of tea, bicycles, and neighborhood gossip. On the other side, wide boulevards lined with government monuments, ministries, and a constant stream of EVs and high-tech patrols. Beijing is the seat of power. Here lies Tiananmen Square, one of the largest in the world, and the famous Great Hall of the People, where decisions affecting over 1.4 billion people are made. But it is also a living museum. The Forbidden City, with its golden roofs and imperial symmetry, reminds us that emperors reigned here for more than 5 centuries. Nearby, the Temple of Heaven, surrounded by cypress trees and morning chants, is still a refuge for those seeking spiritual balance. And underground, an ultra-modern subway system connects every corner of this megacity of over 21 million inhabitants. Beijing is a world unto itself. Tradition, politics, culture, technology, and daily life, all coexisting in a unique pulse. This is Beijing. Old and new, silence and agitation, the soul that shapes the giant called China. The Great Wall, a giant snaking through history. There are human creations said to be visible from space. And while that is often debated, one thing is certain. Few structures impact the soul like the Great Wall of China. It is not merely a wall. It is a titan of stone and earth winding between mountains, deserts, and valleys, stretching for over 21,000 kilometers. A colossal work that took more than 2,000 years to complete. Its origins date back to the 3rd century BC, when Emperor Qin Shi Huang unified various defensive lines to protect his nascent empire from northern invasions. Since then, successive dynasties reinforced and expanded this barrier, turning it into one of the most ambitious architectural feats in human history. But the wall was never just a wall. It was a network of fortresses, watchtowers, military barracks, and communication routes. In its active eras, thousands of soldiers lived and patrolled atop it, scanning the horizon day and night. Today, the Great Wall stands as a symbol of resilience, perseverance, and the human capacity to transform the very landscape. Visiting it is an overwhelming experience. Walking its restored sections at Badaling or Jinshanling is to feel the weight of time beneath your feet. It is gazing at the horizon and wondering, How something so immense was built with such precision, without modern machinery. The wall reminds us that China doesn't just build upward, as its skyscrapers do, but deep into the roots of its history. It is a thread of stone stitching the past to the present, a majestic scar that remains alive among the mountains. Cities that never stop: Shanghai, Canton, and Shenzhen. If Beijing is the political heart of China, these three cities are its economic and technological engines. Here, there is no pause, no silence. Only lights, motion, and an energy that vibrates at all hours. Shanghai, the most populous metropolis in the country, is a visual spectacle. Skyscrapers that brush against the clouds, neon lights reflected in the Huangpu River, and a rhythm of life that blends cosmopolitan elegance with ancient tradition. Walking the Bund is like stepping into a postcard from the future, with one foot still in the past. And just steps away, the Jing'an district offers millennial temples, nestled among towers of steel and glass. Canton, also known as Guangzhou, is the commercial soul of the South. An open city, multicultural and deeply tied to international trade since the days of the maritime Silk Road. Here, the intense flavors of Cantonese cuisine mix with the modern architecture of the Canton Tower, rising like a luminous needle above the city. Shenzhen is the technological jewel of China. What was a fishing village just 4 decades ago is now a megacity designing the world's drones, robots, smartphones, and intelligent vehicles. Home to giants like Huawei, Tencent, and DJI, Shenzhen is synonymous with innovation, speed, and the future. In these cities, no one sleeps. No one waits. Everything evolves, while other parts of the world look forward. Here, the future has already begun, and it has no plans to stop. Rural life in China, where time takes a breath, while the Chinese megacities race full speed toward tomorrow. In the heart of the country, there are places where time seems to float, not run. These are small towns, villages hidden between mountains, and valleys where traditions remain alive, as if the centuries had never passed. In these rural areas, life revolves around nature. Crops of rice, tea, corn, and vegetables set the rhythm of the days. Families rise before the dawn to tend the fields, feed the animals, or prepare breakfast with ingredients freshly harvested. Here, the houses are made of adobe, stone, or wood, The streets are unhurried. Neighbors are extended family. Many still warm themselves with wood fires, dry their harvest in the sun, and hang corn on the walls, like sacred decorations. In the villages of the mountainous regions, like in Yunnan or Guizhou, ethnic minorities wear traditional costumes, embroidered by hand, and celebrate colorful festivals, where dance and drums resonate like a collective prayer. Grandparents care for grandchildren, while parents work the land. Children play barefoot alongside ducks, or chase after improvised kites. Here, connection to the earth isn't a trend. It is a way of life. And although many young people migrate to the cities, there are those who return, seeking something they couldn't find there. Silence, roots, soul. Rural China doesn't make the front pages, but in its hills, its dirt roads, and its weathered hands, lives the deepest spirit of the country. Wild nature, sacred mountains, rivers, and biodiversity. China is not only futuristic cities and ancestral monuments. It is also a natural sanctuary of colossal dimensions. A country where nature still speaks with its own voice, with landscapes that steal your breath, and a biodiversity that seems drawn from mythology. The sacred mountains are an essential part of the Chinese soul. Places of spiritual pilgrimage and ancient legends, where gods and immortals are said to converse with humans. Mount Huashan, with its granite peaks shrouded in mist, seems to float above the clouds. Taishan, venerated since antiquity, has been climbed by emperors, poets, and sages. There, every stone seems to whisper millennial prayers. In the south, the mountains of Zhangjiajie defy logic. Vertical rock pillars that inspired the floating landscapes of the movie Avatar. Among its misty forests, golden monkeys and exotic birds live in harmony with the echo of the wind. But if mountains connect with the sky, rivers connect with life. The Yangtze, the longest in Asia, cuts through the country like a living artery. Its waters have nourished entire civilizations, and its gorges, carved by time, are a natural masterpiece. The Yellow River, cradle of Chinese culture, is considered the mother river of the nation, though it is also unpredictable and powerful. As for biodiversity, China is a treasure trove, from the giant panda to the snow leopard. Passing through the Taken, the giant salamander, and endemic birds like the golden pheasant. In regions like Sichuan, Yunnan, or Qinghai, the variety of habitats, jungles, plateaus, glacial lakes, means every step reveals a new species. And although progress advances, there are corners where nature still dominates. where the silence of a forest or the roar of a waterfall still marks the rhythm of existence. Wild China needs no words to impress. You only have to open your eyes and let go. Deserts of the north, dunes, wind, and ancestral silence. When one thinks of China, one rarely imagines deserts. But in the north, the landscape changes radically. Green mountains give way to golden dunes. The sound of rivers is replaced by the whisper of wind against grains of sand. Here begins the kingdom of silence. The Gobi Desert, shared with Mongolia, is one of the largest in the world. But it is not just a sea of sand. It is dotted with rocky mountains, canyons, and ancient trade routes. It was here that the famous Silk Road passed, connecting east and west. For centuries, camel caravans crossed these unforgiving lands, carrying spices, silks, ideas, and secrets. Even today, nomadic peoples live among its dunes, intense, resistant to the wind and to oblivion. Further west lies the Taklamakan, whose name in Uyghur roughly means, "Go in, and you won't come out." It is one of the most dangerous deserts on the planet. Vast, dry, directionless. Inside, the sun is implacable and the nights freezing. However, on its edges flourished historic oases like Kashgar, cities where cultures converged, along with religions and legends. To step into these deserts is to hear another China. One that doesn't shout with lights, or accelerate with skyscrapers. One that speaks with the wind, with the crunch of sand, with the footprints of a solitary camel at dawn. The northern deserts are the country's ancient memory, a mirror of time, where every grain of sand holds a fragment of history. China on the map, dimensions, data, and diversity. Located in East Asia, China is the third largest country in the world by area, behind only Russia and Canada. Its territory spans more than 9.5 million square kilometers, stretching from the subtropical jungles of the south to the frozen steppes of the north, passing through deserts, mountains, fertile plains, and extensive coastlines along the Yellow Sea and the East China Sea. It shares borders with 14 countries, including Russia, India, Mongolia, Nepal, Vietnam, and Pakistan. This strategic position makes it a bridge between Central Asia, Southeast Asia, and the Pacific. With over 1.4 billion inhabitants, China is the most populous nation on the planet. Although many imagine a uniform nation, the reality is that it is a mosaic of 56 recognized ethnic groups, with the Han being the majority. The official language is Mandarin Chinese, though dozens of regional dialects like Cantonese are spoken, along with Hakka, Wu, and many others. The capital is Beijing, while Shanghai is the most populous city. Other key metropolises include Canton Guangzhou, Shenzhen, Chengdu, and Xi'an. The currency is the renminbi, RMB, also known as the yuan. The time zone is at C8. And although the land spans 5 natural time zones, all of China ticks to a single official clock. From its borders to its people, from its languages to its landscapes, China is immense in every sense. A country so vast and diverse that exploring it is like traveling through several worlds inside just one. China cannot be summarized in a single journey, nor in a single video. It is too big, too ancient, too alive. It is a land where the spiritual and the technological walk together, where every mountain holds a myth, every dish a history, every village a language of the soul. From its temples, wreathed in incense, to cities that scrape the sky with steel towers. From the silent deserts to the rivers that give life to millions. China is a universe in motion. A place that defies logic and, at the same time, invites you to feel. If this journey surprised you, if it showed you a face of China you didn't know, don't forget to like, share this video, and subscribe to Incredible Planet. Your support allows us to keep discovering the wonders of the world, one story at a time. And you? Would you dare to walk the paths of the Great Wall? To lose yourself in the rice paddies at dawn? To taste flavors unknown or listen to ancient tongues under the stars? Leave us a comment. We want to know, which part of China calls to you? Thank you for joining us on this journey. We'll see you very soon, in another marvelous corner of the globe. This was Incredible Planet.